Tears have been shared, hymns sung and hopes for the future expressed at the second day of the Te Pūtake o Te Riri, the second day of Te Pūtake o Te Riri, the New Zealand Wars commemorations in Taranaki. Activity started earlier with the dawn service and the lighting of a ceremonial fire at Te Kohia Pā on the outskirts of Waitara. Robin Martin was there.
Between 200 and 300, together where the first shot of the rain, together where the first shots of the New Zealand Wars were fired, Te Aotearoa Rangatira, Wiramu Kingi Te Rangataki and his military chief Haporona had deliberately provoked the British into firing onto Te Kohia Pā, which had been hastily built on disputed land. Te Pūtake o Te Riri co-organiser Ruakeri Hond says although little remains of the L-shaped fighting pā, it has never been forgotten.
We have continued to meet here about, I think it was on the 150th anniversary. We reinitiated on the 17th of March to hold an event, and so we come here on the morning of the 17th and acknowledge Hapurona, acknowledge the people who stood alongside him, and the plans that were used by Tupuna to stand their ground.
The ceremony at Te Kohia involved karakia, waiata, haka, and the burning of rākau or sticks representing the iwi present. It was enough to bring tears to the eyes of Pākehā couple Margaret and Ken Crawford, who live on nearby Waitara Road.
We have found part of a cannonball on our land, and we know people in Pennington Road who also had cannonball there. When we shifted here in 2002, we were aware for the first time that we are only custodians of the land, that we don't own the land, and that was what was particularly special to us, and that is why we are here this morning.
82-year-old Waitara Kāmatua Raymond Tito had his own memories of Te Kohia.
And we used to play here every day. We got a grounding every day, but we still came over here and played. And of course I went away. You know, you go away for work and what have you, but we always used to come back here. And when we come back here, we used to come here and do what we used to do, karakia, and it was the same.
The British troops who fell in battle were also remembered in a service at the Waitara Military Cemetery. Hoani Erawata explains why it was important to recognise the 34 soldiers who lost their lives at Puke Kaori and Mata Riko Riko in 1860.
You need to also pay homage to the enemy, I guess the other side. It's just honouring them and remembering them, but it's also to do with acknowledging that happened and that life always continues on, but without holding any bitterness.
Buses ferried Te Pūtake o Te Riri participants to notable battle sites this afternoon, including Pukerangi-ora, where the First Taranaki War ground to a stalemate in 1861. Under Major General T.S. Pratt, the British had laboriously dug their way up the slopes towards a new pā at Pukerangi-ora, using a system of redoubts and covered trenches called saps. As Pukerangi-ora Hapu member Anu White, who was one of the guides, explains.
So pretty much sapping was an attack technique. So because of all the trenches and the warfare the iwi were using, that Hapu were using, I suppose the strategy that Crown used was the sapping, and it took them a long time to do. You can see this is here, when I talk to Calvin Day and a lot of other historians around, they still think this is one of the better examples of sapping today.
Mr. White says Te Pūtake o Te Riri presented the Hapu with a great opportunity to tell its stories and think about how it might do so in the future.
In terms of, are we going to recreate anything? We're going to look at some of the palisading, etc. And ultimately, how do we share these stories and how these stories can be told on site? So when people come here, they don't just see a sign saying Pukerangi-ora Historic Reserve. They know that actually something did happen here, and people know when they come here, they can feel it, and that's important. That why they're feeling like that is to have those stories on site.
And if anyone doubts that Te Pūtake o Te Riri is having the desired effect, take it from 14-year-old Noah Tamarina O'Brien. It's hitting the mark. A student at Te Kopoku High School in Hamilton, he shared his opinion over kai.
Finding it's a cool experience, a new first up experience for me, and yeah, just bought it from my uncle. Want to just try and pass it on and look out for the future and hopefully carry it on. Learn new things, why we do this and what happened back then and why we do all such stuff and all that. It's a cool event to be a part of.
Te Pūtake o Te Riri wraps up at Owai Marae in Waitara tomorrow. Mo te hōtaka o te ahi ponei, ko Robin Martin Hahu.